Okay, picking up where I left off last week. After some back and forth with Randy, with different changes made here and there, we've decided that the best way to go is to create what looks basically a little bit like a roll pan that rolls under. And it complies with the fender a little bit better, and the shape of the nose a little bit better, goes up a hill a little bit with a little bit of a sweep on the bottom to match the angle of the nose a little bit, or the feature of the nose here. I've also added back this forward slanting aspect of it so that it kind of blends out to the nose a little bit better. It was a little too abrupt the way I had it squared off on the last iteration, and so it looks like it all kind of belongs there now. As you can see, it rolls up, and then the rest of the nose rolls up, so it all kind of complies. It gives me a little bit of a frontal lip here, which is nice, but I don't have the splitter to deal with. Yeah, so I'm going to give this a little bit of a break, and I'm going to go work on the hood for a little while and see if I can get that finished up somewhere along the line here. But standing up from this angle here, it almost disappears, which is also nice. So when you're standing at this angle viewing the car, it's not a gigantic feature that obliterates the look of this car. Rather, it's just a nice little compliment down at the bottom. Yeah, so good collaborative effort with Randy, and I think we've gotten it this time. Well, I'm afraid this week's video is not going to be that exciting or dense in content or information, based on the fact that all I'm doing is body working on the bottom side here of this hood structure. So I'm up to the point where I've got polyester primer on it, and now I've just got to start refining what I've already done in the way of body work on the bottom side. I'm also going to be painting in here, finish painting in here, because these areas are exposed here and here on the back side of the hood beyond the frame. Also, what I'm doing in between things, which there's hardly any in between things when you're working on body work, but is slowly taking the nose apart, and I'm priming with a weld-through primer on all of the edges that are going to overlap on these pieces and parts of the nose. So slowly but surely taking this stuff apart so I can weld it all together, which is going to be a big job, because it's got to be welded together all the way around the perimeter. Unlike the original noses, which were basically just spot welded together. And then, of course, around here, what they did was they overlapped on this side here, so they had a 1/2-inch rim. And then what was done usually back in the day was that was all leaded in. They put lead around there, which is not something that I'm going to be doing here. So it's got to be continuous welded and then ground off, just like everything else I've done here. So I'm not going to be particularly entertaining this week, but that's what I'm up to. Just thought I'd show you the adventure. This is my life right now. It's been about 6 hours taking little tiny pieces of sandpaper like this and working them into the corners all the way around as I go, finding any flaws and filling flaws up with a little bit of polyester filler here and there. And my finger's about ready to fall off at this point for today, so I think I'm going to take a break. Once you get tired, you stop making good decisions. So I still have to do the center section here, around down in here, and up to this section here. And I'm starting to get a little sloppy here, so it's time to stop sanding and maybe do something else for a bit. And just thought I'd show you what I'm up to, and what I'm probably going to be up to the next day or two, probably to the end of the week. All right, taking a little bit of break from sanding. Taking these pieces off one at a time, and like I said, I'm just hitting them where there's going to be an overlap where I'm going to weld these pieces back together. But I thought it'd be a good time, while I have access to it, I can reach around in this side over here and take this level and project back to this subframe over here, and plot out where I'm going to hang my headlight pods. And so with just half the nose on there, I can get in there and I can mark things and figure out how I'm going to locate those. And so that's what I'm up to right now. Okay, so I'm going to be building drop-down doors like I got on my car, which work pretty good. So the other thing besides the up and down, top to bottom, location and side-to-side location within the hole looking straight ahead, I've got to find with this pattern of the door itself what is going to be how far forward I could bring the actual headlight pod inside the nose. So with this piece taped up and simulating the door hinged in a down location, I'll go ahead and I'll measure that off, and that'll give me my distance to the front of the lens. Okay, finally done with all that sanding, and I just shot it with some black sealer, some urethane sealer, and I got this section of the hood, which you'll be able to see that underneath, and that also, because those areas won't be covered by the fiberglass matting that I've got over here. At any rate, that's where I'm at now. Just gonna wait for this to dry. I'll give it a little scuff tomorrow, and then hit it with the matte black urethane and see how it goes. All right, while I'm waiting on paint to dry, I've gone ahead and I've cut out my temporary 3/8 of an inch stops that were holding everything here from rotating and moving around on me. And I did them one at a time and replaced them with permanent pieces of this 5/8 by 5/8 square tubing here and across here. So now that the opening is framed out solidly and it's connected to this top piece, which is the top piece that holds the nose in position. And from here, now that I've got both of these sides welded up, I have to, I could take this whole frame off of here so I can get inside a little bit to see how I can pull my headlight mounts out here and get the headlights out far enough to where they're going to be inside the nose. At any rate, that's what I'm up to now. Okay, in between coats of paint on that hood frame, I'm tinkering around with building a frame for this that I can weld up and mount to the subframe that's in the car. So I'm presently checking for the contact points for at least these three. I think they're all in the same plane. I know that these I just put a straight edge on. The two lower ones over here. In other words, I got a straight edge here, ran it up to my frame here, measured in to the existing mount points, which are there. This one here. And it's hard to see anything. Everything's painted out black here. I'm sorry. Over here. This one and this one. Anyway, those are both equidistant off of the straight edge that goes across the car. So I know that those mounts are straight across the car, so I don't have to worry about the angle. At an angle, it'll be in there straight. Now the next thing I have to do is I have to come up to this mount point over here and get the plane of that to make sure that this one, you know, how many degrees of level is it out based on where the car is sitting now. It may be perfectly level, who knows. But anyway, that's what I'm about doing now. Okay, my high-tech method for figuring that out is basically I have it sitting on those two mount points right here, this piece of melamine board, which is you know, rigid. It's not going to flex on me, so I can make sure that it's an even plane here. And I have a smart level taped up to it, and then it's contacting this upper point, and it's 88.3 degrees, which you can't see it from here, but down on the side here you can see. Maybe you can see it a little bit. Anyway, that tells me that when I move this whole mounting system out here, I have to match that 88.3 degrees of pitch in order to get the headlights in the same plane as what they were mounted at in the stock configuration. Okay, so You can see I'm building it up a piece at a time, this little back piece that this is all going to bolt to. So first I took the two obvious points of contact, which are in the same plane with each other, and I also made sure that I marked where this lens needs to be centered up on that frame over there. And once I've got that attached with these weld nuts on the back side of this 1-inch tube, and I went ahead and I made this piece here to come up and pick up this this other point of contact over here. The other point of contact is going to be this ball over here, which has a little socket that goes on a little plastic socket that fits into a hole. So this eventually just pop in like that. So I have to, I've been working on that. This piece here will have a hole on the back side, and then we'll go down and weld to the frame there. At any rate, that's where I am right there with that. Just trying to fill in between, like I said, waiting for paint to dry. And finally we've got some, we're hopefully finished painting this bottom of this frame here. And let this dry real good over the weekend. And got a kind of a matte finish on here, a matte clear over black. And hopefully in the beginning of the week I can put the fiberglass batting in, the heat shield on the frame, and then finally put these two halves of the hood together for the final time, and then assemble them together. Not that it's going to go back onto the car just yet. I've got a lot of work to do on these headlight assemblies and the nose, and this will just be in the way right now. So, but I do want to get it put together and get the top side, which is still bare metal. I want to get that coated. So I'll just be sitting waiting here for the next step. At any rate, that's all I have time for this week, and I appreciate everybody for watching, and I will see you on the next one.